Cubs can't hold a 4-run lead in Queens. They split the series, and we preview a big one versus the first-place Brewers.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making Locked On Cubs your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by eBay Motors. From brakes to exhaust kits and beyond, eBay Motors has over 122 million parts to keep your car alive. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to bring home that big win. Keep your car alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. Welcome to the weekend. We appreciate whenever and wherever you may be listening. Cubs, Brewers, big series, early test, all those things later in the show, and also a new game. Who do you trust? Specific to the Cubs bullpen. And we start, Sam, with Cubs Mets as they split the series following a 7-6 loss in 11 innings on Thursday. Cubs did lead 4-0 going to the bottom of the fifth, but Ben Brown got into trouble, and so did the bullpen. It unraveled into a defeat. With that being said, the Cubs do return to Wrigley on Friday at 19-13 overall. It was Splitsville and Queens. Where would you like to start?
Yeah, let's start with the fact that I listened to the majority of this game on the radio.
Nice.
It wasn't nice, but I'm not going to go there. Just a lot of delayed calls. I hear the crowd roar for a full 2 seconds before I get the call. Pat Hughes will be back on Friday, it sounds like, for the Cubs. That was announced on the radio. So, yeah, you said it. Cubs are up 4-0. Once Morel hits that 3-run homer, you're starting to feel like, all right, we're going to bank in this one. I thought the Cubs were going to win on Thursday. I even bet them. It unraveled quick. It was, it became 4-0, became 4-2 quickly. Brown lost a little command. The zone today for both sides was just abominable. The worst zone of the year, both sides.
Wow.
And then Thompson comes in, gets a big strikeout of Alonso with the bases loaded to clean up the mess. Cubs added one with a big double from PCA, so you're feeling good. And then Thompson can't field a ball back to him. Lindor comes off the bench with 2 on 2 different times. He was sick last night, came in and gets two different 2-run doubles, and those were really the difference. I want to point out a couple of things late in the game. Cubs had a couple guys thrown out at home. It was a good send by Willie Harris in the 9th inning on a Patrick Wisdom ball, man on third, 1 out. The percentage chance of Morel scoring on that versus the next guy getting a hit off Edwin Diaz, it's much higher. It was the right play, but there was no Madrigal wasn't there to help Morel, tell him where to slide, things like that. And it was a good play by I think it was Navarez who kind of like scooped it and tagged him in one motion. And then in the 11th, it was an odd inning. Madrigal starts out with a double. Cubs get the ghost runner in. They lead 6-5. Thought for sure PCA would get the left on left at bat and just bunt him over. Counsell goes to Swanson. He gets rung up on 2 really bad calls, but he gets rung up, doesn't move the runner over. And then late in the game, 2 on 2 out, talking with a clutch base hit, but Madrigal, similar to Alonso the night prior, doesn't touch home. He's out. And then to me, the big story of this game, Matt, we'll talk about it in the third segment in depth, but Craig Counsell and I'm not attacking Counsell. I support this because Palencia looked good in the 10th.
All right.
Craig Counsell rather go 2 innings with Palencia than 1 with Alzolay with the game on the line because Alzolay didn't throw on Wednesday. He was ready to go on Thursday.
Yeah, he was available.
And we just know this with Palencia. If he's got 1 good outing, it's 1 bad outing. 1 bad outing, 1 good outing. And so you were asking him a lot to go back-to-back innings, stranding the ghost runner. He plunks Bader, who thought it was on purpose. I get it. He was probably just hurt. 98 straight to his back. And then he goes full to Lindor. Lindor wins the baseball game. Overall, like you said, we went into it thinking split. We got a split, but you're also kind of rolling your eyes. It's another 4-run deficit in the middle innings gone.
Yeah, because you're up for a big home run that turns the game. 15 outs to go is not a small number, but you would like to think that even on May 2nd, to even in a getaway game, in a 4-game series, that you can somehow have a path to victory and rattle off down from 15 outs to 0. That's what it comes down, for me. I get trying to get Brown through 5 because options are limited in the bullpen, which is exactly why Palencia went the back-to-back in the first place.
Yep.
But, Ben Brown did clearly hit a wall. They go up 4-0. Ideally, in baseball, you look for the shutdown inning there, which means allowing no runs after a run-scoring frame. And he walks the leadoff guy, finishes with 5 walks, only had 54 strikes and 89 pitches.
Yeah.
That's a 60% strike rate. You're looking for about 65 plus typically in the major leagues. Lovelady pitched in this game.
Yeah, he's decent.
What does he do moving forward?
Wasn't great. Wasn't bad.
We're going to get to maybe some roster convo in a minute or two. I like what I saw out of Bush on Thursday. PCA continues to show well at the plate. And I agree, as you break down the 10th and 11th, would have liked to seen him, bunt for a hit or even sacrifice there instead of Swanson.
Yeah, real quick, man. I
Right?
like, especially against Edwin Diaz, make these relievers field their position. It's such a lost art. And it hurt the Cubs today. Keegan Thompson couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Counsell doesn't like bunting, but there is circumstances to do it.
I don't like losing.
Happ and Horner each had 2 walks, as if that is notable. I suppose it is. And actually it is, because I do want to discuss some lineup combos prior to the Brewers series.
Yep.
And how did you think the defense was, by the way, on Thursday?
Well, the error by the pitcher was a huge play.
It snowballed it.
So not great.
Not great.
Just real quick on Brown.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about him?
This was a really good example of him just still being in the tweener phase.
Yeah.
And he probably is going to be better off just helping this team out of the bullpen. But for those, I did some homework on this the other day when I talked about it. I looked at Counsell. Do you remember the 2018 Brewers, the team that beat out the Cubs in game 163?
A little bit.
So that was actually pre-Burns Woodruff, Peralta.
Wow.
That was like Yolis Chacin and Gio Gonzalez and those guys. But Woodruff and Burns were out of the pen for them that year. And they were out of the pen in the postseason.
And were they rookies?
Burns was in because Burns came from somewhere. He was like year 2. I think Woodruff might have been.
Okay, but they were young.
But yeah, they were major weapons out of the pen.
Oh, that's cool.
So the point I'm trying to make is that
we got to talk about that more.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. It doesn't, just because Ben Brown might not be a starter this year doesn't mean he isn't going forward. Yeah, I was watching their highlights against the Dodgers in the NLCS that year, and it was pretty much all Woodruff and Burns in the middle innings. It was actually kind of funny.
Well, the Cubs need Steele and Hendricks back because
Hendricks
Brown goes
pitching
to the pen. Wisniewski, Assad, maybe even Wicks.
Yeah, I think Assad's going to stay a starter.
The pen just gets way better, even in piggyback formations.
Yeah. Hendricks right now, 5 innings, 2 earned at AA.
So I think Happ needs to go back to leadoff on Friday, don't you?
Yeah, so let's talk about the lineup.
Yeah.
So here, I think this is the best way I could describe where I'm at with the lineup right now.
All right.
First of all, I think Swanson's going to come out of it this weekend.
Oh, I had him as a player to watch too next segment.
I think you will. Happ looks like it's a little deeper than just a slump to me. And here's the best way I could put this. I'll let you worry about this lineup right now. I want to say it like this. If we had a full-strength team, my lineup tomorrow with a full-strength team would look like this. Mike Tauchman batting leadoff.
Okay.
Seiya Suzuki batting second. Cody Bellinger batting third. Nico Horner. Yes, Nico Horner. Use his contact skills as a weapon in the cleanup spot. Michael Busch, 5. Christopher Morel, 6. Ian Happ, 7. Only putting him ahead of Swanson because of some right-left stuff. Swanson, 8. Catcher, 9. That's where I'm at with those two gentlemen, Swanson and Happ.
I like it a lot.
As far as tomorrow goes, I think Happ has to get back to leadoff, and I think Swanson has to be hitting, like 6th or 7th, man.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if Talkman would maybe become the 3-hitter for a game or two. There's really not many other options there. I don't think you'd put Morel there. Maybe you would put Bush there if you feel good about it.
Yeah, I don't really feel good about it.
We'll see.
And Matt, one more thing as regards to the lineup. Yan Gomes got an opportunity today and really struggled with men on again. He has a 188 on base percentage right now.
Wow.
That is pitcher level. We thought that there would be some regression with Yan. He has become his at bat quality this season. We get on a lot of guys. It's as bad as it could possibly be. And the Cubs need him to be more competitive along with Amaya in that position. Nobody's asking you to be Johnny Bench. Nobody's asking you to have an OPS in the 8s, but you need to compete a little bit. And Yan Gomes right now is not competing for the Cubs offensively. Just a fact.
All right. Well, that's definitely something to watch. And wow, I wonder what that could possibly lead to if that keeps trending that way.
Kurt Casale's been balling at AAA, man.
Really?
Yeah, he said 358.
Okay, so probably limited plate appearances or
17 games.
Okay. All right, well, maybe that's a thing.
I don't know, but I don't know what it is, but I'm not asking for a lot. I'm asking to compete up there. Just compete for me.
All right, so I got 2 possible roster moves before Friday's game. I almost made it 3, but I just don't see a natural swap for Mervis. Given the 40-man roster, I limited myself to the 40-man roster since this is the most realistic, and the 40-man does have currently 40 players on it. So outside chance, they put a non-40-man player on there, but I don't see it right now, especially with Steele possibly returning as soon as Monday, and especially with Bellinger possibly returning soon. And I guess soon is in quotes because it sounds like it's not going to be Friday, but, maybe in the next 10 days or something. So I would swap, man, he has options left. I say you take advantage. I would swap Nick Madrigal for Luis Vasquez.
Yes, that could happen, but I respect it.
Vasquez is a recent pick. He wasn't picked that long ago by the Cubs. He's a young kid. He could play third, short, second. He's ascended through the system pretty quietly, actually, but was added to the 40-man last winter. And he's slashing 333, 411, 505 with 7 dubs, 3 homers.
Yep.
And the second move I would make would be Daniel Palencia, who would be in gym shoes on Friday anyway.
Yep. And
I would swap him out for at least for 7 to 10 days with Porter Hodge, who has a 1.59 ERA in 11 1/3 innings, 19 strikeouts. The one concern is this number here,
the walks.
8 walks, but
yeah,
it would be something to try.
Yeah, a lot there. Just looked at the AAA box score for today. Julio Teheran gave up 10 hits in 3 2/3 innings.
He's not on the radar or the sonar.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I think they gotta bring up somebody for Palencia tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not, I looked at the options, Sam. It really was only Hodge and Quas that are healthy options on the 40-man.
And it's not going to be Luke Little because he threw Thursday.
Right. And he can only come up with an injury.
Okay.
Because you have to spend so many days down there.
You're
not going to bring Quas back. I don't even know how he's doing, honestly, down there.
No, you're not going to.
But Hodge is getting a lot of swing and miss.
Yeah. It might be him. I think he threw Thursday as well, though. But
okay, well.
one positive
Then
from
forget
the,
all I'm saying.
well, it doesn't mean he can't throw again. I mean, Palencia threw 2 innings, so he's definitely not pitching. Basically, as it stands right now for Friday's opener, we have, Alzolai's going to pitch. I mean, Neris can't pitch, and that was my one positive. Neris had his
Neris
best.
cannot pitch a third straight day.
And no, I think he has thrown 3 straight. No, you're right, 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Neris had his best inning of the season, so there's your positive.
Great.
He looked really sharp. Hit 94, 1, 2, 3 inning.
Cubs Brewers this weekend. Craig Counsell's former team. Let's talk about it next.
This episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your car alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one car, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your car alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit. Only available to U.S. customers.
Cubs play the Brewers at 1:20 p.m. Central Friday. You can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. All right, rivalry renews on Friday. Cubs Brewers, all 3 games at 1:20. It's Hayden Wisniewski and Joe Ross, Jamison Tyone and Tobias Myers, and Javier Assad and Freddie Peralta. Craig Counsell's former team is 19-11 on the season. That is following a managerial change. Corbin Burns being traded, Brandon Woodruff being injured, and Devin Williams being injured, and that's all before the season began. And on top of that, the Brewers are averaging 5 runs a game, and most of that has been without Christian Yelich, who is currently on the IL. I'd say Ross and Myers are middle to lower of the pack starters, so the Cubs hopefully can take advantage of that, especially with Peralta waiting on Sunday. And I really think Peralta has turned himself basically into a number 1 pitcher. Sam, what is this for you? Big series, early test?
No, big series. Big early series.
All right.
Big early series. It reminds me setup-wise of the Houston series where you feel like you'd like to get the first 2. So you go into Sunday.
I think so, yeah.
You feel going to Sunday. The Brewers have not lost yet with Freddie Peralta on the mound. So, Ross and the other guy, I don't
Myers.
know. Yeah, I don't know much about him, but, they should be gettable. But these are 2 teams right now that are playing each other not at full strength. The Brewers are a little bit more used to it than the Cubs are. I think it's unlucky that we don't get to see Imanaga in this series because he's been our Freddie Peralta. We haven't lost in any of his starts. To me, Friday feels like the key. The Cubs are going to be coming off a long trip. They have Wisniewski going, and that's why the bullpen thing is so fascinating because you're hoping to get 4, 5 at the most out of Wisniewski. So who's getting you the other 9? It'd be really nice if the Cubs could have, me, I don't love those big blowout wins. Please, tomorrow, go score 17 in the second inning if you need to.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And let the Brewer finish the game or something like that.
Yes.
Because, this would be that it would be the time to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of who's even Alzolai's going to pitch. I don't know.
Alzolai's available for sure.
Leiter will probably pitch because he got a day off.
Leiter and Brewer. Those 3 are available.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then they got to make a roster move if those are they can't go into a ball game like that.
Unless you went Lovelady back to back, then there's 4 guys available.
That's not a lot. And the Brewers are coming off a day off, so
and they've been just chilling at Crumble Cookie since Thursday morning.
Right. No, Friday will be a tough one, but the Cubs are the favorites, -130 in that ball game.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, and the Cubs. I think the Cubs have a better team than the Brewers. I hope they show it this weekend. But they're going to be down a couple guys. Who's going to step up? To me, the Cubs don't win this series without help from Dansby Swanson or Ian Happ. One of those guys has to get going, has to deliver. I think it's going to be a cool weekend. I don't think rain's in the forecast, but I think it's going to be cool. Be really nice to see some of those guys get going.
Dansby Swanson, career against Joe Ross, Friday starter, 5 for 13 with a homer and 6 ribbies. So
okay,
I hope he is a player to watch at least Friday. And I'm hoping like after the second, Sam, like I'm going into 7th period.
Yeah.
Cubs are like, it's, like 4-0.
Well, it was today.
Well, but hopefully that's a better pace, right? Like,
right.
And then after
Ian
school, it'll be like 7-0.
Ian Happ also has a home run off of Joe Ross.
Oh, fantastic. All right, well, that's our show. No, we got another segment. Are you excited for Cubs Brewers? Are you nervous?
Not nervous. Definitely not nervous.
No.
I would say neither. I'm not excited. I'm excited for my watch along on Saturday.
Oh, yes. I had a teaser for that, but let's talk about it now.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Just to, that'll be the first time I ever do a watch along for a really significant baseball game.
I think you might get $500 for that.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. What are my emotions going into this series? I hate, I'm just not the same guy when the games are on while I'm working. So like Friday, I'm going to be kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'll say my emotions going in, my feeling is, I'm very interested to see how it goes. I think the Cubs need to win this series. Now, if they don't, it doesn't mean this, like, it's not one of those things. I just think, I don't think losing a series at home to the Brewers to kick off division play would be a very good tone to set.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see them find a way to win 2 of them. I am not asking for the brooms. I just want to find a way to win 2 of these games. I think Counsell will be up for him. Hopefully they play it hard and well for him and they do the right things. Crowd will be good. And it should be a fun weekend to, first place battle or a game behind them. So
yeah, first 32 games, said 16-16, 17-15, and they go 19-13. And first games against NL Central team not until May 3rd. It would be good to get that 20th win Friday and start off the series.
The season ended today. The Chicago Cubs would be the second wild card.
Okay.
2.5 games ahead of the Metropolitans, who they just got defeated by today. The Philadelphia Phillies occupy the first wild card spot.
Okay, quick standings check right there. All right, we got Prize Picks and Monopoly Go, and then who do you trust out of the bullpen right now? We're going to give some ratings. Stay tuned. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app. It's the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. Pick more or less on 2 or more player stats, and then watch the winnings roll in. Baseball season is well underway, and don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks entries. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, take your pick of more or less and add them to your Prize Picks entry. Prize Picks is really simple to play, with your entries taking less than 60 seconds to submit, turning $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps of your screen. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's a first deposit match up to $100 by using code LOCKEDONMLB. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app.
This episode is also brought to you by Monopoly Go. We've all been there, right, Dansby and Ian? Either as a player or a fan. It's halftime and the scoreboard is not looking good. You're feeling low, not sure you or your team could pull out a win. That's when you dig deep. Lift your head up and say to yourself, time to get back in the game, pull off some bank heists, and take as much of my friend's money as I possibly can. That's right. The smash hit mobile game Monopoly Go lets you compete with your friends to get the most riches and the biggest empire. It's the Monopoly you love, but on your phone anytime with tons of new twists, including leaderboards to compare your progress to your buddies. There's so much to do. Play on countless dynamic Monopoly boards. Make your friends bankrupt by smashing their landmarks with a wrecking ball and charge other players rent for your iconic properties. You can even work with your friends to crack open community chests and in tournaments to get extra rewards and climb the leaderboard. So get back out there, put on your game face, and download Monopoly Go, now free on the Apple or Google Play Store.
All right, our last segment here on a Friday episode, bullpen trust levels on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
1 being when this pitcher enters the game, you want to run outside and not watch. 10 being you have full trust that
Mariano
he will get
Rivera.
3 consecutive outs, right?
10 being Mariano Rivera.
All right, we got Brewer, Lovelady, Palencia, Thompson, Alzolay, Almonte, Leiter, and Neris. Not exactly, I guess the 90s Yankees to go off the Rivera comp. But
okay, just name who you want here.
All right, so I got Brewer at a 5.
Well, wait, no.
That's a mid score.
I mean, Brewer's a low leverage guy.
Right.
So are we assuming they're coming into a big spot?
You know what? That's a good question. I think we should.
Okay, then Brewer's like a 2.
It should be a high leverage spot.
Yeah, he's never pitched in high leverage.
This is like a grading system. I mean, a 2 is just a horrible score.
Yeah, well, he's
a 20%.
He's never pitched in high leverage before.
All right, so Brewer, I'm going to give a 3. I've seen some good things with him.
Okay.
Lovelady, I'm going to give a 2.
I thought he came in and did a decent job today. He just made a bad pitch to Nimmo. I'll give him a 4.
Palencia, I'd give a 5.
3.
Thompson, I'd give a 6.
6.
Right?
Yep.
Alzolay, I'd give a 3.
A 1.
Almonte,
how can you give Alzolay anything more than a 1? Every time he comes in a big spot, some guy hits a ball into the Grand Canyon. How does he a 3? If here, to your grading scale, if we're up 4-3 tomorrow and he comes in the 9th, I'm going outside.
Wow.
I don't want to watch that.
That's a 1.
It's a 1.
Wow. I think I'm too nice of a
3. If it wasn't for him, we'd be 4 games up on these Brewers.
Let's see here. Yeah, I forgot about the high leverage scale thing.
Neris, have you mentioned him?
I can't believe I had Brewer at a 5.
Yeah, Brewer at a 5.
No, Alzolay, I'm going to put down as a 2.
Okay. No, you can do 3. You don't
Almonte, man, I really want to give this guy an 8.
No.
I'm going to go 7.
I'm going to go 6. I'm still not all the way there, but he's decent.
I got Leiter at a 9.
I got Leiter at a 7.
Wow.
He just pitched a lot, man. It's just 7's a good score, though. It's a good score.
Okay. And I got Neris at a 3.
I'm at a 5 with Hector.
Okay.
I'm a little bit higher on Hector than I was. Is that everyone?
Yeah, that's everybody.
So my highest score was a 7. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's not great.
Well, last year I was at I don't – it takes a lot to get to a 9-10 range for me.
Yeah, that's a high score.
Like when I think 10, I think like 2018, 19, 20 Josh Hader.
Okay.
I would say last year Alzolay was at like an 8, and I would say Merriweather was about at an 8. I think if we could just get to that score, that'd be great.
Join Sam at 1:20 p.m. Saturday for Saturdays with Sam, which is a live watch along Cubs Brewers. And we'll be back Monday to recap this big series. Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs. You give us 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, smash the like button for the algorithm, and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. And if you want more Matt and Sam, consider supporting us by subscribing to our Unlocked podcast, which we're about to record right after this. And the link to subscribe is in this and all episode descriptions. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
Go Cubs.